ऐसा बहुत बार होता है जब दो पार्टीज मेरे पास अप्रोच करती हैं और वो कहती है कि मैडम हम लोगों का आपस में नहीं बन रही है, व्हाट डू वी डोंट वांट टू स्टे टुगेदर। उस केस में मैं जनरली पार्टीज को एडवाइस करती हूँ कि अगर आप दोनों एक शादी में नहीं रहना चाहते हो तो बेटर है आप दोनों शादी को ख़त्म कर लो। नाउ यही एक चीज़ का मतलब होता है, दिस इज़ व्हाट एंड वेयर द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ म्यूचुअल कंसेंट अराइज। Mutual consent means that where both the parties agree to dissolve their marriage amicably by giving consent. Now, to file a mutual consent divorce, what is important? For filing a mutual consent, what is important is that the parties would have to arrive at a common conclusion, a common clauses for settlement. What settlement means herein? Settlement means is financial arrangement, with settlement pertaining to financial arrangement, settlement pertaining to custody rights of a child, and so on. Financial arrangement herein means, for instance, if a husband and wife are having a joint property, so that needs to be mentioned in the mutual consent divorce that who will get the property after the divorce. If a wife is willing and desires maintenance, then that also has to be specified in that compromise agreement for mutual consent divorce. Apart from that, we would also need certain things which has to be amicably put forth in the mutual consent divorce, which is pertaining to the custody rights of the child. Now what do you mean by custody child? जिसके पास बच्चा रहता है उसको हम कस्टोडियन पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं, जिसके पास बच्चा नहीं रहता उसको हम नॉन कस्टोडियन पेरेंट बोलते हैं. नाउ इन दिस टर्म both father and mother has to decide that who will keep the permanent custody of the child and who will get the visitation rights. In case the mother is keeping the custody of the child, she is known as custodian parent and the father would get the visitation rights. Apart from that, in the mutual consent agreement or maybe a compromise deed, settlement deed, whatever we enter, what we have to take care is that along with the visitation and the permanent custody in whose custody the child will remain, you should always specify the summer vacation and winter vacation clause also. You should always specify the winter vacation and summer vacation clause also, because for a reason that later no dispute will arise between the parties. Once all the terms have been amicably settled between the parties, we enter into a compromise deed specifying and detailing those terms, and pursuant to which we decide to file a first motion petition. Now over here I am dealing with the petition which is supposed to be filed in a Special Marriage Act and Hindu Marriage Act, because the procedure for Muslim law is different. Now, for a Special Marriage Act, the petition has to be filed under section 28(1) of Special Marriage Act, and for a Hindu Marriage Act, the petition needs to file under section 13(b)(1). Now, once we amicably come on a conclusion, a settlement is drawn between the parties. Those settlement which was agreed between the parties have to be reproduced, which means reproduce means वही जो सेटलमेंट जो हमने एग्री किया है आपस में समझौते में इन एन MOU, वही चीज हम सेम रिपीट करेंगे अपनी फर्स्ट मोशन पिटिशन में. नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स दैट वेयर टू फाइल द डिवोर्स पिटिशन. Now I'm just dealing with the Hindu Marriage Act. Even the Special Marriage Act has the same provision. The jurisdiction has to be defined where the marriage took place, where the party resided together as husband and wife, and where the wife is currently residing. On the basis of that, we decide the jurisdiction and we file the petition accordingly. Once the petition is filed in the jurisdiction, what all documents are needed in the petition? We would need the address proof. For example, why do we need an address proof? Your question would be. We would need address proof because, for instance, you may have an Aadhaar card, but you may not have the same address where you are residing, because in a petition we'll have to write your current address also. So we'll may need an address proof, maybe your rent agreement. In case your Aadhaar card, ID proof, driving license have that address, then we do not require an address proof. We would need the identity proof, identity proof such as Aadhaar card or maybe voter ID, driving license, passport size photograph, the compromise date which we agreed, and that's it. And after annexing all these documents, we'll have to present this petition before the learned principal family court judge. Now we have defined the jurisdiction. I'll give you an example. For example, the party is staying in Defence Colony. Then in such circumstances, the jurisdiction would lie in Southeast and the court would be Saket Court. So we'll have to file the petition before the principal judge, Saket, Southeast District, and when the petition is filed before the Honorable Court, the Honorable Court may ask and may have a preliminary inquiries from the parties. Now you will scare that what questions would be asked before the court and what will be asked. Is a very serious question? No. There are very simple questions. The court may inquire about your date of marriage, date of separation, and apart from that, what are the terms of settlement which you agreed into MOU. One more thing which is very important to take care and note in mutual consent divorce is that when you are filing a mutual consent divorce, what we have to see is that the party should be living separately for a year, and then we can file a mutual consent divorce, because separation period should be at least 1 year, and accordingly based on the separation only we can file a vow. If for example you got married on 14th of December and you want to file the mutual consent divorce maybe in February 2021, you got married in December and you want to file it in February, you cannot file a mutual consent divorce. You will have to wait for 1 year. There is a waiting period of 1 year, and you can only file a divorce if you have separated with your respective spouse in December 2021 only. Now coming back to the first motion petition, once we file a first motion petition before the family court, what we need to do is that the Honorable Court may inquire, and accordingly based on that judgment would be passed. Now when the judgment is passed, then as per the act and the legislature provides the parties to wait for 6 months, which is basically known as cooling period. What do you mean by cooling period over here? Cooling period means that the parties have a time and they can rethink on the decision of giving second motion. Now once after 6 months, when the parties again decide on the fact that we do not want to stay together and we want to go in for the divorce, then in such circumstances you will have to file a second motion petition before the Honorable Court, same jurisdiction and the same procedure and the same documents. Only one thing you require, which is an add-on in the second motion petition, is a certified copy of the first motion statement and the first motion order passed by the family court. Once we annex all these documents along with our petition, then the Honorable Court passes the second motion order and they grant us a decree, and hence accordingly a mutual consent divorce is awarded and a decree is awarded to the parties. Now there has been a latest changes with respect to the 6 months period, though there is no amendment in the act, but Supreme Court has given a judgment wherein the court has given power to the family court, wherein the power is given to the family court with respect of waiving off the 6 months period. Now I would like to explain, because people usually ask me, मैम मेरा 6 महीने में खत्म, हमें 6 महीने वेट नहीं करना, बट हमें तुरंत म्यूचुअल कंसेंट करना है, हो जाएगा ना? हम लोग वेवर की एप्लीकेशन डाल सकते हैं कोर्ट के अंदर, विच इज नॉट अ डिस्प्यूट, but what we need to take into consideration is that first of all we'll have to see, and the judge, it's the discretion of the judge. It's if the judge wants to give and grant you a waiver, then only the second motion would be allowed. If the judge feels that it's not possible for a waiving of period, and you do not require a waiver, and maybe according to them you require some more time to rethink on your decision, then the waiver application is dismissed and the second motion would only take place as per the statutory rights of after 6 months. Stipulated period you have to wait for 6 months. But there are cases, like for instance a case is filed for 5 years in the court and the parties have not arrived at any amicable solution and they have not been staying for more than 5 years. Maybe the marriage is virtually dead. In such circumstances, the court takes into consideration and they grant a waiver. And apart from that, also I will again specify and emphasize, because I don't want people to think that हमने waiver डाल दी हमारा waive हो जाएगा. It is the discretion of the court. Discretion का मतलब होता है वो जज साहब की मर्जी है. अगर जज साहब को लगता है केस को देख के कि हाँ हमें वेव करनी है वो 6 महीने को, तभी जज साहब हमारे को अलाउ करेंगे कि ओके फाइन, यू कैन waive, you can file a second motion and I'll grant you the decree. Now this is the procedure which I have explained regarding mutual consent divorce, which is pertaining to Hindu law and Special Marriage Act and even the Christian law. But for the Christian law, you have a waiting period of 2 years as compared to the Hindu law. Hindu law and the Special Marriage Act has a mandatory period of 1 year, after which you can file. But for Christian, there is a period of 2 years that you have to wait for 2 years. So this is the procedure of mutual consent divorce and the way we can file mutual consent divorce. Now coming forward to that, how do we obtain divorce in case of a Muslim law? Well, we do not have the same procedure for Muslim law, because the Muslim law is little different, because they do not have a enacted law. The Muslim law is a personal law. So basically there is no proper act according to which we can file by procedure a mutual consent divorce. So basically I think everybody is aware of the procedure of talaq. Well, I'm not talking about triple talaq. I'm talking about the procedure of talaq. What is the procedure? Talaq is basically usually given by a husband. And in that case, what usually people have a misconception that talaq means 3 bar talaq, 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 talaq. No, that is not talaq. That's illegal. You cannot pronounce talaq 3 times at one go and the person is divorced. No. Talaq means that you will have to give a notice. Like for example, the party who is pronouncing talaq, he has to give talaq before a witness, and in presence of a witness he has to pronounce talaq, and then send a notice to the party that I am pronouncing first talaq. In this way, a period of 1 month has to be observed. First talaq when you send a notice, then after second when you have, and the second month you will have to send the second notice, and in the third month you will have to send third notice, and after that the talaq takes place. And once the talaq take place, then if the party wants confirmation, they'll have to apply for suit. You'll have to apply for suit for dissolving your marriage under section 7 of the Family Court Act. And if both husband and wife are agreeable, and if the wife is also willing to accept that talaq, then usually if you want a proper decree from the court, then you file a suit for dissolution under section 7 of the Family Court, where the wife would also be made party and she'll give a statement, and accordingly the matter would be dissolved. Now what in case of a woman? Like for instance, a woman may file a divorce under the Muslim Dissolution Act 1929, and if the man agrees for a divorce, then in that case there is a khula nama, rather having a talaq nama, because that's called khula. There is a difference between talaq and khula. Talaq is always given by a man, and khula is a way where a Muslim woman can take a divorce from a man. So we enter into a settlement. In case a woman files a divorce, we enter into a settlement, and after entering into a settlement, we get the statements of both the parties recorded. When it's in the case where the woman files a petition under section under 2 of the Muslim Dissolution Act, then the boy is served, and if the boy agrees on the divorce, then we draw a settlement. Accordingly, the same procedure, the terms have to be defined in the agreement regarding the custody, finances, and everything which are repeated in mutual consent divorce, and then statements are recorded and the decree is granted to the parties. So this is in case of Muslim law, and I have already explained the provisions pertaining to Hindu and the Special Marriage Act. Thank you so much.